Good evening. So I'm gonna do my best. I might have to mute the mic here and there and clear my throat because I was doing what any grown, nearly 53-year-old male adult would do, and eating some cookies and cream ice cream, and that often kind of messes with my sinus, my mucus and stuff. So yeah, it is what it is. It's ice cream. Come on, we get ice cream maybe twice a year, something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy some cookies and cream ice cream. Anyway, I don't have a lot to cover tonight. I just don't. A couple things I want to talk to you about. Something really cool. Well, a couple things really cool. Kind of nearish the same direction. And then I want to talk about this tariff thing because I've been doing some thinking, and I've been thinking a lot. And yeah, I only really see a couple of different directions that's going. And so I want to have a little chat about that. If I were to be a cat in a hat. But anyway, let's not try to do rhyme time. What? I'll stop on a dime. A huff? Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't get huffed for that, because that was like really lame. And even the good jokes get huffed. So oh yeah, I did mention a cat. Yeah, cats and squirrels, probably not good things to talk about around here. Because some damn humans are always teasing the dog about cats and squirrels. So anyway, where do I want to start? Okay, I'll start out with the cool stuff before we get into the discussion about the trade tariff deal. So, first of all, I was going to show you this too. This is kind of cool. I did, blur my phone number out because it is the YouTubes and stuff. I mean, it's like, you'd be really stupid not to be able to figure out how to get my phone number, but, just not on the YouTube video at least, trying to go that far, you know what I mean? But anyway, I got my signage done for my little repair business I do, and I think it turned out fairly well. So that hopefully that will help get the word around a little bit. And every time I can record doing a repair, I absolutely will. So that way it will also help as advertisement and whatnot. So, pardon me. So I wanted to tell you about that. And this is pretty crazy news, I thought. Pretty crazy news. Nuclear EMP attack moves to big screen as author reflects on invisible lifeline. Well, check this out. Author William R. Forshen's best-selling novel, 1 Second After, which imagines the devastating effects of an EMP strike on the United States, is being adapted into a feature film. Now that's the part that makes me kind of like, my butt's kind of getting tight, because adapted. And I know it's got to be, it's got to have a screenplay written and all that. I get that. I just hope that they don't go idiotic and Hollywood it, right? Because that would totally ruin it. There is a stark difference between what we see come out of Hollywood at this point, or what we have seen. Hollywood, I don't know that they're doing a whole lot anymore. It seems like it's a hell of a lot more like independent filmmakers and stuff like that are putting their movies on Netflix and Amazon and stuff like that. It's like Hollywood has kind of been, I don't know, it's old news, but Hopefully they don't Hollywood the movie. Hopefully they keep it true to the book. Otherwise, it makes the movie useless. They Hollywood it and, yeah, Walking Dead it, whatever you want to call it, it'll make it useless. But hopefully they don't do that. But anyway, it goes on to say the screenplay will be written by renowned sci-fi writer J. Michael Straczynski. I'm probably saying that wrong, and I have no idea who the hell that is. With Fortune himself serving as an executive producer. So that's good news, at least. Maybe they will keep it a little true to the storyline. Hopefully a lot true to the storyline. Because if they played that out in a movie and they kept true to the book, it could very well wake people up. It could very well. There are scenes in that book that really bring it home. I mean, that's the best way to put it. They really bring it home. There's multiple scenes. It's not just... It's dealing with all kinds of different things. And, it's not all about the battle and the Mad Max people coming down the road, although there is plenty of that. But there's a lot more to it, too. I hate to spoil anything in a book, but, for instance, what would happen if your little girl had diabetes and you're able to get diabetes, insulin. I'm talking insulin for a little while, but they're going to run out at some point. And, you got to keep that stuff cool. So imagine doing all that kind of stuff without there being any lights. Or power, I should say, to be more accurate. And then imagine what happens when you run out and your little daughter is insulin dependent. Not a good scene. That type of stuff is important to be kept in the movie, without a doubt. So, and I'm not trying to spoil the book for you or the movie. Just trying to give you a little bit of an idea, Sure, after how many seasons? What? Rick's wife died on The Walking Dead, and he's walking around in that abandoned prison. You remember the time. Go! That time, yeah. This was long before the here little piggy, here little piggy. You know what I mean? So, anyway, yes, I have seen The Walking Dead. I can't say I've seen every single episode, but I've seen most of the seasons. I think I tried watching all the seasons. It got real stupid in the end, yo. I couldn't. It got beyond stupid. It was entertaining, though, up until it got totally stupid. For sure. For sure. Entertaining, not educational. I want to make that clear. So hopefully, when they turn this into a movie, they keep, and I'm going to use that word kind of loosely, keep it educational, even though some of the education is some pretty dark stuff. So, anyway, let me continue, because this is awesome. Fox News Digital spoke with Fortune about the real-world inspiration behind his work and why he warns that an EMP attack is a looming threat, not just science fiction. It's not the only thing, folks. Go listen to Space Weather News, Ben Davison, Suspicious Observers. It's not an EMP, but it's going to cause the same damn thing. I wanted to write a very accurate story of what would happen in a small town in North Carolina if the power went off and it never came back on, he said. Fortune was wrapping up his PhD at Purdue University when he began pursuing a novel on an EMP attack on the United States. He said that he struggled to get the novel off the ground and clarify his ideas until he had a God moment at his graduation. I'm quoting him. I call it a God moment. I was sitting there, sweating in my robes, looking at the students and parents, and it just hit me. write about us, write about my town. And I think that's incredible, I might add. Goes on to say the moment of inspiration led him back to his hometown near Asheville, North Carolina, where he began the task of writing an accurate, compelling version of events following the devastation of an EMP attack. Fortune began the process of writing and drew inspiration from key figures in his hometown. I started interviewing people like crazy, police chief, pharmacists. I learned how deeply everything depends on that invisible lifeline of electricity, he said. He pointed to the interview with the local pharmacist who he shared had been left crying. He pointed to the interview with the local pharmacist who he shared had been left crying after considering what would happen following an EMP strike. Now that's what I'm saying, the wake-up moment. And people don't get that wake-up moment from things like The Walking Dead and all the other zombie movies and, The Last of Us or whatever the hell. People don't get the truth, to be honest. They don't get the truth. When you do tell them the reality, and it sinks in, and when you do realize that, oh hell, this can very much happen, it will leave you like that. When I was thinking about it, and this was, a long time ago, probably 14, 15 years ago, if I were to just throw a dart at it, I had a nervous breakdown. Because I sat there, and I used to be a lot more social than I am now. I'm not social now, not really at all. I used to be a lot more social. And even whether or not I'm social now, I know a lot of people. I've met a lot of people. And fortunately, I know a lot of really awesome people. And I think about those awesome people, and I think about how many of those awesome people would perish if some type of major event would happen like this. And it haunts me. It haunts me. So yeah, it leaves a mark. And if you go to somebody like that, especially like a pharmacist or something like that, you lay out the situation to them, that's going to be upsetting. So anyway, goes on to say, I started interviewing people like crazy. I'll never forget finishing talking with the police chief, and I said, all right, Jack, what would you do? And he picked up the phone and said, wait a minute, the phones don't work anymore, do they? He said. I learned that the pharmacist knows the people more than anybody. They're the ones giving out the heart medication, the antipsychotic, and she started writing down this long list of people who would be dead in 2 to 3 months, he said. From dozens of interviews, Fortune crafted his novel together 1 second after was published in 2009 and remains on the bestseller list. The novel is now being adapted into an MPI original film in association with Startling Incorporated. The feature film is being penned by Stratsnitz, I don't know how to say his name, with Fortune serving as an executive producer. Scott Rogers is directing the film, which is scheduled to begin shooting in Bulgaria this September. And I have no idea why they picked Bulgaria, but I really hope that at least they act like it's here. I hope they act like it's where the book is supposed to be, which is where he lives. So, anyway, not going to read all of this, but I thought that was very, very cool. And another cool thing, and I got to be very vague on this, and I'm sorry about that. I don't have a choice about that. I don't have permission to just spill beans and all that good stuff. But I will tell you that I have been waiting a very long time, a very, very long time, for somebody to write a novel or a fiction book. I guess is a novel a series, like whatever, either way. That, a post-apocalyptic novel that starts off, that kicks off with pole shift, right? There's climate change. I've read a few different series that, was which climate change was the thing, but never pole shift. And believe me, there's a huge difference in the nonsense they tell us about coming with climate change and the and pole shift. And when I say that, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that pole shift is a cakewalk and climate change isn't. It's actually the other way around. But nonetheless, I believe that soon-ish, I couldn't tell you when, hell, it could be a year, 2 years, there will be a book within due time that is going to be kicked off by pole shift. And let me just say that it'll drop your jaw to the floor. Let me just say that. I can say that much, but I'm not saying anything more. Unless you beat me with black liquor. I hate black licorice, so if you beat me with no. Anyway, I won't say anything more about it. But I'm not going to say, but it's good. It's going to be good. And that's awesome, because anything, I always hear people, for awareness. Well, this is for awareness, because I could be wrong, but I don't know of any book out there that kicks off with pole shift. Not a post-apoc book. I just don't. So, virgin territory. I'm really excited. And I can tell you that there was a lot of research involved. I can say that. It's good. Anyway, so I wanted to mention those things because those are kind of cool things. Now to get to the meat of, the title of the show. I don't have a lot. I don't have a bunch of links to show you or news articles to go over because it is what it is. It's Sunday, So this whole tariff thing, it's got all kinds of people all freaked out. And I'm still kind of looking around like, are you high? Because share, nice people share. But a lot of people are freaking out. Oh, wait a minute. They're the same people that were freaking out when COVID happened. Now it's starting to make a little more sense. I get it. The same people when COVID was here that every day was telling you about empty shelves and was telling you about how the price of everything was going to go up 45,000 times. And we weren't going to have any death. Remember that? The diesel exhaust fluid. We weren't going to have any death. That was going to run out and the truckers couldn't get stuff anywhere and everybody was going to die. And right? You remember that? I remember that. I remember it very well. Well, it's back. It's back, but this time it's Trump tariffs. So, howdy, Hetty Hayes. Waterboard me with it. It's just, folks, it's not gonna happen like that. I see one of two things happening. And the second thing, I think is a very, very small chance of it. Very small. Number one, they kiss and make up, right? Z and Trump, have a little bit of alone time or something under some Chinese gazebo and they kiss and make up. Seriously, not that way, but seriously, there's already discussions going, even though they don't act like there's a whole lot of discussions going. What did the father say? What was that? Yes. this too shall pass. That's right. Imagine that. This too shall pass. I think they're going to work it out. And I think the tariffs on everybody is going to get lowered. Right? Everybody. And things are going to stabilize. And I think it's going to be fine. I think that is the most likely scenario. And I'm going to make the call that sometime between 3 and 6 months from now, that will have been done and transpired, and be back on to fear-mongering about something else. Maybe there'll be another train derailment that we have to start watching. You know, the fact that there's more than one trail derailment every day of the year. So, yeah, maybe we'll be back to that. It really is. If you do news, like every day you're covering this stuff and you're paying this close attention to it is what I do, you realize just how silly and just how much fear-mongering is going on. And unfortunately, not just mainstream. In fact, when it comes to this kind of fear-mongering, it's the alternative media. It's crazy. The other, because I said there were two things, I really doubt this is going to happen. But a little chance is still a chance. And that is, we'll wind up in World War III over it. And that is a very, 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 very tiny possibility, but it has to be said. Because if everything just stayed, well, I can't say stayed, but if everything continued to escalate and we continued, tit for tat in a trade war, there's only, a certain amount of time before China says, you know what, we're just closing off to you and not ship us a damn thing. You realize just how bad of shape the United States would be in if they stopped all exports to us, including medications and everything. We would really be in a bad way really fast. That's a fact. Now, if you don't think, now we're talking, you got to understand, we're talking medications, medical supplies, just all kinds of stuff like that. If China was to shut off their exports to us, just lickety-split, there are a lot of people that would perish as a result of that. In pretty short order. I am pretty sure that there would be a strategic decision made at that point, probably for retaliation of the military kind. Oh, speaking of that, if I am to be punished, you are to be punished. We share the punishment around here, and dang it. Get over here. There we go. Over there. Yep, right there. Oh man, how can I? Hang on. Oops, wrong button. No. There we go. Yep. If I have to endure this, so do you. I present to you Obi-Wan Pritzker and that thing standing next to him. Obi-Wan Pritzker. Yeah, you remember him. The guy that disconnected the toilets in his house so he wouldn't have to pay the taxes for it being a residence. Something to that effect, allegedly. Yeah. You know. Ick. Ick. It kind of doesn't make it come up in your throat. Totally, I know, right? So anyway, back to what we were saying. I think it would escalate if China did something like that to a military conflict. I kind of don't see how it wouldn't, because that's going to harm a lot of people. But again, I think the chances of that becoming reality are so very slim to none. I mean, I can't say they're not any, but I really do think, and I could be late on my timing. It could be before 3 months, but I think sometime between 3 and 6 months, we're going to be back to business as usual with China. I can't tell you about with the EU or the UK or anybody else with China. Because, of course, we got separate deals going on with everybody. Buyer. Oh, what do you mean, buyer? Probably something I said and I didn't catch it. Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Hang on. That's the motivation why they haven't done it yet. Okay? The fact that, just as you said, that they need us to buy their stuff. You're correct, 100%. And that's the reason why they haven't done it yet. Because it's kind of like a double-edged knife, you know what I mean? And it's going to hurt them, maybe not nearly as bad, but it's going to hurt them bad. I know that there's a lot of people saying that, oh, well, they got to rely on this and this and this and this and this and this and this from the West, right? The Chinese people are much weathered, especially at this particular point in time in civilization, than what we are. Number one, they're not as, I'm going to say it, they're not as pampered and entitled as we are. And I'm included in that. Absolutely. So they are a little more used to hard times or the likelihood of hard times. Now, I wasn't there and seen it with my own two eyes, but I do remember during COVID where it was talked about people were being welded into apartment buildings. I know it was awful interesting that, that hospital that was made specifically to treat COVID patients mysteriously caught on fire. So, I'm just saying, well, and that's just it. They have excess. They also have pretty much everything they need. I know I keep hearing a bunch of people say, oh, well, they can't grow food, and they can't? The hell they can't. So they would what? Have to stop eating a lot of Western meals? China has survived for a hell of a long time without the West, and they can continue to survive without the West. China has not put its titty in a wringer like the United States has done when it comes to trade. And that's what Trump is trying to fix. But it's like a walk on a tightrope for him to be able to fix it. And it's not just one tightrope. It's tightropes to every other damn nation out there. And that's not an easy task. That is not an easy task. So I give credit where credit's due. And I think Trump is doing a pretty spectacular job at walking that tightrope. I really do. I absolute credit there. But That's what I expected him to do. Why? Because he's a businessman. That's what he does. And that's why I preferred him to be in. Well, I mean, no. The fact that I've got a pulse and, respiration, all that is, yeah. Trump, Kamala, yeah. The fact I've got a pulse and respiration, I gotta say Trump. Because Kamala, you would have to be brain dead. I'm sorry, but you would have to be brain dead. Right, exactly. Well, yeah, to an extent, though, Hetty Hayes. I wouldn't always want a businessman in the presidential seat. But when we're in times like this, damn right, yeah, I would. But not all the time. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Get our country working out well. And I would like to see a wide variety of individuals become President of the United States, or most certainly very tight in the administration. Like, I don't know, maybe doctors, scientists. And when I'm saying this, I'm not talking about crackpots. I'm not talking about the crackpots. I'm talking about the ones that get it. They would be great. I wanted Ben Carson, 2016, that campaign, I wanted Ben Carson to get it. Why? Because I thought he would have fixed a whole hell of a lot of stuff that was going wrong with our healthcare system. Why? Because that's what he does. He knows our healthcare system. They're asking too many football players how to play golf. And now, at least maybe we can get the economy going right. And once we do get the economy going, when and if we do, then yes, we need to pivot. We need to move to healthcare, education, all kinds of different areas, and get this ship back up straight. But I don't foresee no big World War III with China over the tariff stuff. Not at all. And I don't think it's going to be forever pain. No, I don't imagine we're going to have a whole lot more pain anyway. Oh, sure, some of the things that you want might be more expensive. But there's also companies that are pivoting, like Temu. I think it was Temu I heard earlier that's just going to ship from their U.S. warehouses. So who knows how all that's going to work out. Just have to see if and how much the prices go up. And I'm sure a lot of prices have gone up some so far. But I don't think it's something that's going to be long term. And I think it's going to get worked out. And everything along those lines, anyway, will be back to much of normal, other than the United States won't be getting conned so bad when it comes to this, with trade. Yeah, 'cause my neck hurts. My neck works? My neck works! Yo! Oh, man. Goodness. Yeah, I don't feel too concerned, to be honest, at the moment. Right now, I'm keeping a close eye on, I am keeping a close eye on the whole Pakistan thing, and obviously we need to keep a close eye on Israel and Iran. And I say Israel and Iran because it appears to me that Trump really don't want a whole lot to do with Israel's conquest to wipe out Iran. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Russia, Ukraine, I do think that's going to get hashed out. I do. Might take a little while longer, but I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be a bunch of the same old, is what I'm trying to say, right? Bunch of the same old, which is both good and bad. Hopefully, we can start to reverse some of the lunacy and maybe start working towards a more positive future. For people on down the line, because for people my age, I think we're pretty, pretty screwed. We'll see what happens. And when I say I don't mean that, as in totally, oh my God. No, I don't think that they would take everybody that was paying into, say, for instance, Social Security all their life. Unless things got really stupid, I don't think for a second that they would be telling everybody, well, we're out of money and, well, we just ain't going to be able to give you anything, so good luck. I don't see that happening. I mean, come on. Now, if things got really, really stupid bad, then of course, yeah, that's a possibility. But I'm feeling the same old, to be honest. We'll see. That's all we can do. I mean, what else are we going to do? Go jump off a building, but that ain't going to help nothing. I don't know. I got nothing else. I would imagine soon they're going to get this tariff stuff squared away. At least enough to where people aren't going to have to be so concerned about prices and stuff. Oh, goodness. I am going to get out of here and go snuggle with a big black dude that cheats. Totally cheat. Last night wasn't even right. We raced to bed, right? That's supposed to be our thing. When we go to bed, we race. And even though she always wins, last night she cheated. Full on cheat. She went in there even before the race started. Ornery butt dog. Howdy, Steve. We pick on that poor girl so much. We have so much fun with her. She loves it. She loves the attention. Last night we were in bed. First off, she stole the spot where my legs go, right? And she's being a total butt about moving. And so I told Jen, I'm just going to take her tail tonight. And she's like laying on her, she was laying on her side up against my legs. And I told Jen, I'm just going to take her tail. I'll be damned if she didn't pull her tail up underneath of her and roll over onto her stomach so I couldn't get to her tail. And then made a big sigh. Oh, I about died laughing. She is a trip. Oh, man. Yep. I don't know what would be worse. Her going before me or me going before her. I would hate to do that to her. I have never been so close and never had a dog so close to me. And it's incredible. Now when I hear the term man's best friend, I really understand it. Really understand it. I never even thought, and I love animals. I've always loved animals. I love cats. I love birds. Deep love for animals. But I've just never had that closeness and the understanding. I mean, again, I've had birds, and I spent a lot of time with Ozzy, my parakeet. I've had cats. Had a Siamese cat named Ozzy. And I love animals. I spent a lot of time with them, but not like the amount of time that I've spent with her. And everything is so intuitive. For the most part, she knows what I mean, and I know what she means, and it just, we can even work together in that sense. It's incredible. What are you referring to? Oh, wait, what are you referring to exactly? Was that one of the emails? I've been doing a lot of reading here lately, so I was okay, so when I read a good book, I like to take my time and let it simmer. But at the same time, I'm anxious to read on and see what happens next. And I've been doing a lot of reading. I can't remember how many words I was told it was, but it's a lot of reading. Fair amount. I was trying to read it as quick as possible. Okay. I'll have to go look back through that. Okay. I'll have to look back through that, Steve. It's been a little bit hectic. A little bit. Not in a bad way. Just been fairly busy. And that's a good thing, actually. Hopefully, business picks up and I get a lot more stuff in to repair, and that will be awesome. Oh, I've been mentioned in the group, so I'm checking it out. Oh, I hear you. You're saying that about the 70s. Um, but but it got better, right? Because I know things were, they were getting better in the 80s. And then the 90s, things were going pretty smooth. The millennium we went through, that was pretty smooth. And we were pretty smooth up till about the 2008 debacle. And 1980, I think we had some kind of nonsense or something, didn't we? I think. Or not. Was it 8? Yeah, at the end of the 70s. Right. Yeah, because I had, and a lot of that was nonsense, because you know as well as I do, Steve, that there was no oil shortage. So a lot of that was just a bunch of hyped up nonsense. And I don't know why you're saying, I have to go back and read your email too, as to why you're saying it was difficult to build or grow anything. Whether it was just a lack of excess money, or whether it was, over-regulation, or, and I know all of the above, but, we'll see, we'll see. Here's the different, another thing that's different from any other time that we can refer to. Probably even in the Great Depression, we probably couldn't compare this to. Funny money. we've got funny money. You know, when the Great Depression happened, it wasn't funny money. That money was based on gold. Now it's funny money. So it's really just in a sense, it's a fictional game of Monopoly. In a sense, they print whatever they need, and you know, I do wonder if the big reason why they floated around the notion of UBI, Universal Basic Income. I know. You cleaning your ears? My ears are itching, man. So I take an ear poker. I always call these ear pokers to my kids. An ear poker, or a bobby pin, if you call it by the right name. And you'll know. If you poke your eardrum with the ear poker, you'll know it. There's no mistake about that. That's why I call it an ear poker. Been there, done that. So how this shakes out is anybody's guess, is what I'm getting at. Because they could just print a bunch of money and, I agree, barter. Absolutely. And I keep, trying to push the notion of having skills and stuff like that to be able to barter. Because, that can of beans you got that you're trying to trade for a few rounds of 22 long rifle, that can of beans, once you hand it over for those few rounds of 22 long rifle, it's gone, right? You can't just magically produce another can of beans. But if you're fixing people's stuff, you can continually fix people's stuff. And, skills are probably about the best thing, in my opinion, somebody can barter. And not only on top of that is it being a renewable source for bartering, but also it makes you an asset. And in some aspects, that's even more important than getting a few rounds of 22 long rifle. Oh, right on. I will have to look at that, Steve. I know I kind of scanned it, but I had a bunch of other stuff going on at the time, and it's been like I say, I've been keeping myself pretty busy here. I got huffed. I don't know why. Hell, I haven't even had a chance to change my wicks in my RDTA. I've got to do that tomorrow morning. This thing's really tasting kind of nasty. So yeah, and I'll tell you, these damn things are a pain in the ass, like with a capital A. Prepaid cards. So, obviously, a lot of people, you're local to them and you do work for them, they pay you in cash. Well, I have to get that put somehow on digital so that I can get the things I need. And some of the things I needed was, for one, the right flavorings for my e-juice, because I ordered 4 ounces of the wrong raspberry from the wrong company, and I didn't know. I had to try both to see which one was right. So I wanted to get a bottle of that ordered and a bottle of the peach, because I'm running a little low on that. Both I need for sure. And I needed some vegetable glycerin, because I'm down to about a half a gallon in there. And yeah, I couldn't tell you how long that gallons lasted. Probably at minimum 2 to 3 years, at very minimum. That half a gallon has lasted me, so I got another gallon on the way. Because I'm going to have nicotine, yo. And, And then my shoestrings, right? My shoestring, well, a shoestring broke when I was putting my boots on. That was kind of a last minute thing. And I'm like, damn it. So I got up, I got the damn prepay card thing, and get back home. And first thing I did was go to the, I'll tell the company, they were amazing, absolutely incredible. Bowl City Flavors is the name of the company, Bowl City Flavors. And I went to their website because I Googled, and they were the one that had the best deal on what I needed. And free shipping is always a plus. So I placed my order, and not too long later, I get an email from them saying that their merchant had flagged my card. Ah, you resent it, I see. I see. And so I'm like, oh, great, right? Because the email included that what they needed me to do was send them a picture of my ID and the credit card or debit card that I used to purchase. And I thought, well, there's two problems with that. Problem number one is I don't have a valid ID. I've got a driver's license and I've got a state ID, which are both long past expired. That's it. And I know what they were wanting to do, and that was to match the name on the ID up with the name on the debit card. The debit card says card holder because it's a prepay ID. Prepay card. So anyway, I wrote back, and yes, I even explained to them because of Real ID Act and blah, blah, blah. And I got a real short message back, just said, just send in what you have. Just send us what you have. So I put my expired state ID, my expired driver's license on the table, the prepaid debit card I used, along with the package next to it, and I emailed them a picture and said, I just got it today. Right on, I see it here. I said, I just got it today. And so anyway, thankfully to Bowl City Flavors, I was approved, and I'll be getting my flavoring soon. Well, then I got the same kind of nonsense from, it was a third-party seller that was selling the shoestrings, and I got the same nonsense from them, but I guess they tried to put it through a second time, and that went fine. So I didn't have any trouble with the vegetable glycerin, so that was definitely good. So yeah, and I've got a lot. Actually, I got more important stuff than that I need to get taken care of. But I have faith. I have faith that as long as I do my part, the Father will help me, and He'll make sure that I make enough funds this summer to get my stuff squared away. I need to get some jeans. I need to get, a lot of stuff. So I just need to get caught up, that kind of thing. So anyway, I see this. Let me go over it, and maybe we'll speak about it tomorrow night. 'Cause I need to get off here and get some rest. I am tired and sore. Howdy, Isaac Barrett. Matthew 6:26. Well, I don't have the whole thing memorized, so let's go there and see what's up. I absolutely will do that. Let's see. Oh, no. Give me King James. I just kind of prefer King James. Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? Amen, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Right on, Isaac. And I highly appreciate that. That was awesome. Thank you. Steve, yeah, you don't need anything like that. You just take cash in, put it down on the counter, and they give you the card. You don't need any kind of an ID or anything like that. So, I got this one from Dollar General. And if you want something, if you're specifically going to buy stuff from Amazon and that's the only place that you're needing to buy stuff, just find an Amazon one. Because like Walmart's got like Amazon ones. I think they got. No, wait, Walmart. I'm sorry. No, I'm wrong. Walmart doesn't have Amazon ones. Duh. I think Dollar General does, though. Or most Dollar Generals. Walmart doesn't know. Because that's kind of, competitor kind of thing. But, yeah, you just give them cash. They give you a card. And then where it asks you your name and address and phone number and all of that, you just put your information. So, and I think that's why it gets flagged by the merchants. Because, it's not a card that's technically in your name and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's why some of the merchants flag it. So, and then I even tried this. I thought, oh, well, I'll just go to the donate link, go to the watchmannews.com/donate, and I'll just, I had $60 on the card. I'm like, I'll just, donate $60, and then I've got it in PayPal, and everything's going to be fine. Yeah, PayPal denied it, so just my luck. Oh, man. Anyway, folks, I am going to hop out of here. And God willing, I'll be back tomorrow night. I'll have a lot more news to cover tomorrow night. So, just kind of was wanting to hang out tonight and make it kind of an easy night. So, again, God willing, we'll be here tomorrow. I appreciate y'all coming. Hope to see you again tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good night. You too, Isaac. Have a good night. Steve, Hetty Hayes, everybody else out there, have an incredible night. As always, shalom.